vacation who has what turns out into a nightmare.
The line's very crazy right now.
The flights are skyrocketing, and it's getting out of hand, quite frankly.
They canceled my flight as I'm boarding the plane.
I don't know why the airlines don't have enough personnel or staff or what the reason is.
Welcome back to CBS Mornings. Those are just a few of the thousands of travelers who got a rough ride at airports over this 4th of July weekend. Believe it or not, there are ways to prepare for this kind of chaos, and that's why we bring in somebody like Brian Kelly, better known as the points guy, knows most of them. He joins us now with some tips to survive travel trouble. Brian, good morning. Great to see you. Happy 4th of July. I noticed you're not in an airport this morning, which may be the first signal. Look, one of the things we keep hearing, of course, is there's been these cancellations and questions about sort of what you can get back. What kind of refund or reimbursement rights do people have with the airlines if this happens to them?
Yeah, so your rights in the United States are that you get a full cash refund if your flight is delayed more than 4 hours or canceled. So do not let the airline give you a voucher. Get the cash. However, if you're traveling to Europe this summer, they have a lot more consumer protections. So it's called EU 261 compensation. Look it up. If you're flying to the EU or home from the EU, and that's coming in handy. This past weekend, a lot of European airlines had delay rates of over 50%. So know your rights, but unfortunately in the U.S. we don't have compensation that's owed to you. But the silver lining is if you used a credit card that has travel delay or interruption coverage, your credit card company may reimburse you for all those extra costs, like, getting a room at an airport hotel or getting a rental car.
When you say cash, though, are they literally supposed to hand it over right there, or they just refund it back to your account? I mean, you're telling me I can go up to the counter and they're going to run a refund right there for me if this works the way it's supposed to.
Well, it's not going to be right away. It's not going to be cash. Although if you are bumped from a flight, there's a recent story about a Delta Airlines customer getting $10,000 in cash, or in you can get flight vouchers as well. So, but generally, no, they don't have stacks of cash at the gate agent area. It'll usually go back onto your original form of payment.
Ed, listen, this should not be coming as a surprise to airlines, though. They were calling it like revenge travel, right? That we just had to get out. We didn't care how much it was going to cost. Insurance is for wusses. We need to go. But it started last year. Why are we seeing this chaos now when they've had, at least a year to know that we're ready to get out?
Yeah, and to add insult to injury, the airlines took billions of dollars in taxpayer money to not lay off employees. But the airlines, in many cases, did early retirements. They got rid of those really expensive senior employees, and they didn't think demand was going to come back this quickly. So they, in my opinion, kind of got their hand caught in the cookie jar. But I will say this is more than just airlines. The government, we need to invest in our infrastructure system, air traffic control. There are a lot of different parts of our travel infrastructure that are, quite frankly, crumbling, and it's not going to get better anytime soon, unfortunately.
Brian, it's Vlad. So have you seen those videos of baggage that's just piled up in airport terminals? Thousands and thousands and thousands of luggage. Look at this. Look at these images. This is sort of unbelievable. And both you and Anne-Marie pointed out about the billions of dollars. Just remember where that money came from. Taxpayers. The American people paid that money for these airlines to bail them out. So what can travelers do about a situation like this?
So the biggest thing with checked bags, never, ever, ever put anything super important, medications, always take that in the cabin with you. If you're checking bags these days, you've got to I put Apple AirTags in all of my checked luggage, and it'll tell me pretty much in real time exactly where the bag is. Because as you'll see, in those cases where there's just at Heathrow thousands of bags, if you have an AirTag, you can look where your bag is. If the airline says, no, it's not at the airport, you can say, actually, yes, it is. Here it is. This is what it looks like. Can you let me go back and find my bag? I also recommend don't just have a normal black bag, because no one's going to find that for you in one of those huge facilities. I travel with a salmon-colored suitcase, so if my bag ever does go missing, I can say, hey, it's this bright salmon one, which is pretty easy to pick out when you look in a facility like that.
Now, Brian, everyone's heard your advice, and there's going to be like a ton of people buying salmon-colored.
Yeah, I already put it in my shopping cart on Amazon. Salmon-colored.
I did hear about that AirTag as a little bit of like a hack, and I bought 4 of them as a result. And one goes on my cat, but the rest will go in the luggage.
Don't put your cat in the luggage.
No.
At least don't check
Don't ever do that. Also, a tip that I'm sure Brian would share. Brian Kelly, thank you so much.